The car pulls me out of my garage. Wow, look at that. The autopilot visibility is so significantly limited. Nicely pulls itself out, avoids the bushes on the left. All right, so here we go. In city, I'm on MadMax speed right now, and the speed limit is 45, but the vehicle is not exceeding 50. Yeah, so on the highway, MadMax, that's the thing, it just speeds up quite a lot, and it just catches up to the traffic fairly quickly, and then it also makes sure that it's usually the one that's leading the pack. And I mean, it'll take some vehicles that it'll trail them if they're going like really, really quick. It'll go and follow them, but usually like the way it's doing, see right now, it's passing all the vehicles. It's trying to lead the pack right now. It's going to have to deal with a merge situation just coming up, and it's scooting over one lane and then another. Yeah, this lane merging is like beautiful. Loved it, the way it actually did that. All right, so I am going to start the testing now. All right, so let's see. What do I find and that's worthy of talking about in this drive? So I'm on MadMax. Now there's a lot of traffic around me, so it may not be as indicative of the as far as I'm trying to do like repeat testing on these streets. So already have done testing on this very intersection with this highway. I've tested with 14.21, 22, and now I'm doing it 14.23. Yeah, so it's accelerating, but here's the best part: the vehicles in front of it, ahead of it, they're all going faster than I am. They're all going quicker, right? So because I haven't caught up to them, and I'm at 79.80 is where I'm hovering at, right? Okay, so another interesting thing is that it's not going in the passing lane, even though it's on MadMax mode. This is different. But you know, it's not conclusive to say that there is some kind of a change that they have introduced. It's just the fact that I always say this thing in my conversation, that speed profiles are significantly nuanced in a way that it's not discernible by the human eye what exactly is happening, and what are all of the conditions that it is taking into consideration and making a decision at what speed it goes, what lane it picks to drive in, and things like that. All right, so I'm going to go, and while after passing this vehicle, let's see if it actually goes back into the middle lane by itself. Okay, it's not going, so I'm going to drop it to hurry. Hurry just slows it down a little bit. It stops accelerating is how I feel it. But now I'm going to drop it to standard. Yep, instant drop. This is consistent in all releases I've tested so far. The moment I hit standard on a freeway, on a highway, at least on this highway that I'm on right now, which is J. Terminal Butler Boulevard, you have it drops it down and puts it into a speed limit, which is what I'm really comfortable with, which is about 10 to 12% over the of an offset against what's the posted speed limit, which is 65. And now what is done at this point is scooted over one more lane in standard mode to get to catch its exit. Let me see, for funsies, I'm going to go crank it up to hurry, onto MadMax, sorry. And let me see if it does something where it tries to scoot up ahead of this vehicle to cut in and gain itself one car space or something. I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, so there you go, right? So just because of the fact that it's in a particular profile, it's not indicative. It's not exactly, you can't predict exactly how the car is going to behave. It does have to factor in that even though it's on MadMax, it's coming up on an exit, and so it needs to negotiate that exit in a reasonable manner. That's what it tries to prioritize. All right, so as I'm onto the city street right now, and now let's see how the profiles behave on a city street section. And again, this is a good repeat test for me because I have tested this exact same route on previous iterations, multiple iterations of FSD. So I can possibly identify if there was some meaningful change that I noticed, and I will talk about that if that does happen. So for right now, it's in MadMax mode, and here's another way I can see, right? It's the moment it hits city, the speed limit is 45, and it is not going, it did not exceed 50. It was stabilized at 50 miles an hour, which is 5 miles over speed limit. And you would think that it would probably be going something like 60, 65, given the fact that it's in MadMax profile, but that's not the case, clearly. Okay, so while in MadMax, I see that the vehicle is prioritizing staying in the left lane, which is the passing lane. That's what I consider it. So I'm going to drop it down to standard and see if it scoots over one lane or not. Okay, so it's not going over a lane over, but it's not going to 50 either. It's just slowing its pace. In standard, it's not going up. All right, I'm going to go and crank it down to Sloth, and let me see if that changes it to, it prompts it to switch lane to go into and switch over to its right, and it didn't do that in Sloth either. So you see, that's the thing, right? It's somewhat not something that you as a human can very much easily, meaningfully predict that what exactly is going to happen or not happen based on what profile you are at a given time, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get it up to MadMax again, so that it picks up its pace and it goes to close to 50 at least. And once again, I'm going to drop it down to Sloth right away. Okay, the moment I did Sloth, it slows down the speed, but it does not switch lane. It did not try to, scoot over and get away from this left lane, which is considered a pseudo passing lane, if not the de facto passing lane. I know that rule applies on the highway. I don't know if that's true on a 2-lane city street or not. But either way, when you're passing, typically people are going to pass from your left, right? All right, so it is, even in Sloth, it's not changing lanes. All right. Now it's changing lanes because it knows that it's coming up on its turn that it has to make. So even though I just went and cranked it up to MadMax mode, it is sticking to the lane that it's in. So that's just a quick demo. FSD speed profiles on 14.2.2.3 on a Model Y hardware 4. And it's not much difference that I can notice compared to the previous iterations. It's about the same. And I'm going to take over for a second because, again, the route optimization still sucks. Okay. This is a good indication. Like, as a human, I took that little extra curve when I made this turn, and you know why I did that? Because I usually drive the Cybertruck, and I was applying the amount of steering turn that I apply in the Cybertruck. I forgot that on a Model Y I have to turn it more. Wow, that's the 4-wheel steering and stay-by-wire magic for you right there. And then let's see what happens here. Now let's see how it parks and where does it park itself. That remains to be seen. I would like for it to park next to this red vehicle on the left, but it is going to the front. Okay, it's not park. It didn't want to park in this lane. That's fine, but it should make a left here. Nope, it's going somewhere else. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it continue because it's Planet Fitness is to my right here. Okay, all right, so it's finding a different parking spot to pick up a lane to park in, other than the one that I usually park in. And I guess that could be a good improvement that can come down the line. Where it can look at the user selected parking spot. It can just prioritize that. Okay, see, I don't like this thing. Why does it have to make a 5-point turn? You can make this thing in a 3-point turn maneuver itself. If you were just if the car would have scooted up a little bit more up front, so I think this can be improved further. All right, so that was 14.2.2.3 and tested out speed profiles on the highway, on the city, and then checked out if there's anything I noticed different in its ability for it to park. And it's about the same. I did not notice much difference. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.